they bill family court, the whole system, as in the best interest of the child, in the best interest of the child. Well, how is that possibly in the best interest of the child, putting the child through not being able to see a parent that they're used to seeing every single day? How is that in the best interest? So talk about how you approached what the system is like and how people are put. Some of these guys are being forced to pay child support and they're taking everything from them. They can't even survive living. It's ridiculous. And then they call them failures. Well, you don't get custody of your kid because you're a failure. You can't even keep a job. It's like, you're taking every cent that I make. I'm doing the like. So how did you approach that? Because I thought it was brilliantly done.
Oh, thank you. So in the documentary Erasing Family, we explore the family court system through the eyes of children, teenagers who've been traumatized by it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think judging a system is different than judging people.
Sure.
And you always need to ask, well, why does this system exist? And part of the reason why child support was invented and existed is really to make sure the children do not become a burden on the state.
Right.
This is very different than ensuring that the child has support or has love. And kind of the result is that it's very easy to go to jail for not paying child support. It's almost impossible to go to jail for interfering with custody. So we have a very lopsided system. If you want to go really back, it's because it's very hard to be a working family in the United States. It's very hard to live off of one income, let alone two. So there's a lot of systemic structures in there. So this system was kind of designed to replace welfare. But if you have forced income transferences from one parent to another, we can see that this has very negative effects. Now, here's something interesting that I discovered when I did make the film. About half of the people who support Erasing Family are women. They're moms who can't see their kids. Now, that does not mean that they're statistically the majority. Women may be more apt to talk about this. They may be more apt to seek help.
Right.
So this is not because statistically it's the fathers who can't see their kids. But what I found out is that the system is so invested in making money and generating conflict that it really is designed to increase conflict. And again, it's just asking people, asking a lawyer, what's a good strategy in a divorce case? And most will say, accuse the other person early, make a horrible accusation. Nothing will happen if it's proven false, and just really go after the other person. And so the system rewards bad behavior. And so it's my judgment is, if people do this, it's because they're rewarded by the system. And if they accuse the other person, slander the other person, and they're rewarded by the family courts, what the documentary Erasing Family shows is they're acting because they're incentivized to do so. So I think a key way to reform is to look at the incentives that people have before them. And one thing is also asking is court the place that this should be settled? Is an adversarial system the place where family conflict should be settled? And I'm a firm believer that it is not. That family court is the worst place to throw in a high conflict family that's fighting, that may have mental health issues. A lot of people who get embroiled in these high conflict custody cases, one of the parents has a mental health issue. They might be highly functioning, but they have, narcissistic personality disorder, something like that. And it's rewarded them. Like you even said, well, I cried in front of the judge, and I actually now work with families to coach them through this process. And showing up emotional in court is from a strategy standpoint, one of the worst things you can do.
Yeah.
You're emotional because your children are being torn from you, but you're rewarded by not reacting, which is what a narcissist would do, because they don't react because they're not emotional. So I've also, in the past year or so, become a coach for families going through this. I have a whole program, but it's all based on healing and learning new skills. So, and again, even with that, and I end the film with, let's not try to blame people. Let's try to figure out a way to solve this and to heal, because going back to not judging, everyone's memory of an event is different.
Right. It is. Right.
So to try to figure out what exactly happened, it's futile.